is there. Yes, cool. Thank you guys for letting me know that. But anyway, a little background on me, because I haven't really shown this side of me. I am a huge tabletop role-playing nerd / person. I love tabletop games, especially role-playing games. I think there's a bunch of value in them. As someone who is a filmmaker and story writer and writer, I think there's a lot of value in creating experiences and writing from that. So Thursdays, I'm going to be trying to play tabletop role-playing games or experimental indie games, kind of a little bit more in my background, kind of stuff I really like to do. I mean, honestly, like right here in arm's reach is my D&D monster manual, and that was not even on purpose. So tonight, we're starting off this experimental things on Thursday by playing a game called 1,000-Year-Old Vampire. So 1,000-Year-Old Vampire is a solo tabletop game in which normally you play by yourself, you roll dice, and you answer prompts. And throughout this entire game, there's not really winning, there is no min-maxing, you're not looking to be the best vampire. It is more about experiencing what it means to be an immortal being slowly losing their memory throughout time. So it is a darker game because we will be exploring through real history somewhat as a vampire ages, loses their memory, and all that fun stuff. Let me actually change over the screen to this, what I made. So this will be our screen for tonight and probably next week and the week after. I'm excited to play this game. So tonight we will be creating our vampire and starting off and seeing what happens with this vampire's life. So let's start. And I'm going to be anyone in chat while we are writing this story, because that is what this point of the game is, writing this story. I'm going to crowdsource it. So if there's a prompt or anything that pops up and you have a cool idea, or you have an idea that you like, or like I need help finding a name or something, feel free to shout out anything. Because, I mean, we're going to take it seriously, obviously. I'm not going to name my vampire Butt or anything, but I mean, if anyone has any ideas, let me know. So, 1,000-Year-Old Vampire. I'm going to read this little intro. So, 1,000-Year-Old Vampire is a lonely solo role-playing game in which you chronicle the unlife of a vampire over the many centuries of their existence. Beginning with the loss of mortality and ending with their inevitable destruction, the vampire will surprise you as they do things that are unexpected, unpleasant, and sometimes tragic. Making gut-churning decisions, performing inconceivable acts, and resolving difficult narrative threads are what this game is about as you explore the vampire's human failings, villainous acts, and surprising victories. So, the game mechanics are simple and innovative. Wow, I can't talk. Play progresses semi-randomly through the prompt session of the book. So how this works is I have 2 dice, which I can show you right here. I brought out my fancy dice for tonight. I will be rolling a d10 and a d6 and subtracting them from each other, and that will tell us how far forward we have to go to get to a prompt, and that prompt we will answer. The prompt could say lose a memory, gain an experience, learn a skill. It could say we've progressed 1,000 years in the future and we kill all the mortals that we know. So the prompts are really what helps narrate the game, and we're just filling in the prompts, kind of telling the story as the prompts can throw unexpected twists into our vampire's life. And then here's the content warning that's in the top left. So I'm going to just read it, just so everyone's kind of on the same page. But while playing this game, you will encounter themes of death, selfishness, and predation. Your character may be injured, victimized, trapped, or killed. Your character will murder and victimize people of all sorts, possibly including children, animals, loved ones, marginalized people, or themselves. You might find yourself exploring themes of imperialism, colonialism, or oppression. Characters might engage in self-harm or drug abuse. Illness, debilitation, and body horror may come into play. Your character may have their memories altered. They will certainly forget important things. Some of this will emerge from prompts, some of this will emerge from your own choices as a player. This is a personal, challenging game for mature adults. Please play hard, but stay aware of yourselves and your feelings. Some good thoughts about safety in solo games can be found in Appendix 3. I liked that in our role-playing games, so this is a side note. I really like these content warnings and stuff in role-playing games because there are games that can really go into dark areas, and especially when I run Dungeons & Dragons or other group games, I always like to have a zero session where we talk about lines we won't cross, lines that we might cross, I think it's important because, like, everyone gets emotionally invested into things, especially when you're getting creative. You can get really into some dark recesses of your mind. So it's good to have be kind of know what's going to happen. Obviously, we are writing the story, so these things might not pop up. I'm not going to get super dark with it. Like, we are going to mess with some things, but there are some things I won't do. But yeah. So start by imagining a person in the distant past. We have a Roman emperor, a Mesopotamian midwife, a French knight. This person will become your vampire. So, chat, this is the first question. Where and when do we want to put our character? Do we want to put them in Rome during the height of Rome? Do we want to put them in, like, Venice, England? I'm thinking European just because I know more European countries. But we have to start, like, in the past in a location. And I'm not sure where to start. So if anyone has any suggestions or ideas, throw them out there. Ooh, what if it is an ancient Egyptian vampire? I like that, actually. Let's run with that. So let's say that we were an Egyptian vampire from the port city of Alexandria. So that's to the north. It can get us to Europe, so if we have to go there. And also Alexandria is a very cool city. I've done some history reports on it, actually, especially the lighthouse there. And let's say 200 BC. So, what is our character going to be called, and who were they? I can look up a name, but what was our character before they became a vampire? Were they a stone layer? Were they a shaman? Did they work in the temple? Maybe they were a city guard. Were they an artist? Were they a slave? Because if we're doing Egypt, I'm trying to think. Horus. I like the name Horus because I know the name Horus, so let's do Horus. All right. I am Horus, High Priest of... Who was the leader in Alexandria in 200 BC? When was Cleopatra around? Alright, I think that's a good way to start this memory. So, I am Horus, High Priest of Cleopatra. I was born in 50 BC in the ports of Alexandria. I was raised in the temples, and I was destined to always become a priest. What was... Priest of... Does anyone know what the Egyptian pantheon was called? I was foretold by the stars to become... I mean, we could do Osiris. I mean, the god of death. Khonsu, Sha, Ra. Anubis. Ooh, yes. I do like that. And protect... Okay. So... We have Cleopatra, leader of Egypt. Do we have a relationship with Cleopatra is the question. Do we actually know of her? Well, obviously we know of her, but do we actually interact with her at all? I guess we are a high priest, so we would. What if we do Cleopatra? Oh, maybe she was looking for... Maybe she was like a... Okay. I like that. I like how we're creating this backstory for Cleopatra. That was she in search for immortality. Tabari, mother to Horus, was a priestess of Anubis. Always pushed Horus to be part of the church. Part of the temple, I guess. It wouldn't be a church. And then who should our last character be? Maybe a brother. Okay, there we go. Marmar, you're killing it. Brother, I like that. A little bit of a rivalry. Because maybe then they become a vampire. So, skills can be anything. Resources can be anything. So, like, one skill could be... Knows the language of the gods. Boom. So that's the first one. What other skills would a high priest of Anubis from 20 BC, Egypt 20 BC, what would they know? What kind of skills would they have? I don't think they're good at sword fighting or fighting. Kicks ass? All right, maybe they do know. What's an Egyptian weapon? Like, that is clearly Egyptian, that no one else... What is... It's like that scimitar type thing. Alchemy, yes. Okay, yes. Okay, we're gonna do a scimitar staff and alchemy. It's a Kopesh, okay. Boom. So... Open up Word again. We can do... Proficient with the weapon with a Kopesh. That's kind of like the staff weapon. And then alchemy. So alchemy could also, we can keep it vague. So alchemy could definitely play into mummification. And we can do it. So how skills work is we might get a prompt where it says check a skill. And what that means is we have to answer that prompt by using one of our skills. And once we use... Oh, is a hook sword? Close enough. Once we use one of our skills, we check off and we can't use them again. And once we get actually playing into the game, it'll make a lot more sense. For the first one, we'll do a medallion of Anubis. I think that's important. Scythes, maybe he does have a Kopesh. Which are like scythe swords, so we could do... Ooh, scythes. Maybe he has a ceremonial scythe. Egyptian scythe. Why can't I spell for scythe? Wow, that's not how you spell scythe. Oh, I like that, animal people. All right, what's the last resource? We could do robes of Anubis. Inlaid with jade scarabs. I don't know why I capitalized scarabs. One experience, each being created into a separate memory. So we have to create 3 more memories using these characters and skills and resources. So for one, because these are simple, I could do Tabari. We'll say my mother Tabari gifted me my first set. Oh, can you guys not thank you. Thank you. If I'm ever doing something like that, yell at me, because I've not done this stuff before and I need to know. Gifted me my first set of ceremonial robes. These are something I treasure today, as it was the day after that I joined the temple. Yeah, we pick everything. So there's not like any set thing. So we pick age, area, time, location, name, who they are, and all that stuff. Perhaps he saw some things in Babylon, like a guy with some Romans, you know. Yeah. That's a cool thing. We can play up like the mysticism and like the magic of this world, because I mean there's vampires, so there has to be other immortals, and that means there has to be magic. So that's one memory. We have my brother Unas we're adding, so let's add the night before. Ooh, what if we do this? Both Unas and I were taught the ancient fighting style of the, what's it called? Kopesh from our father before he was slain to the enemies of Egypt. Slain by the enemies of Egypt. Okay, so we have to do one more. I'll scroll down. Boom. Animal people. Hell yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Dots connecting. Love it. Yeah, let's add that in. So we still need to... Oh, we need to make a memory with Cleopatra. And maybe the Medallion of Anubis. Maybe we can put Cleopatra fearing death and loss of control of Egypt came to me in search for immortality. And what if we're against immortality? Like, because I feel like protector of death, you have to be someone against immortality, which would make us becoming a vampire even more tragic. This was. You make the point. Hell yeah. We could say Cleopatra, fearing death and loss of control of Egypt, came to me in search of him for immortality. Being a follower of Anubis, I was against undeath, but she gifted me. What do we still need to be gifted? A golden amulet. I think, yeah, she was. So maybe she did get some immortality, making her so beautiful. We'll say, gifted me with a golden amulet of Anubis. Like, it shined like the stars above the Nile. Boom. So, there's our... Let me scroll down. Those are our 4 memories. So, we already have 4 memories. Boom, boom, boom. The last thing we have to do is create an immortal. This is like the creature that gifted your vampire with unlife. What is... Oh, I wonder if there's vampires in Egypt lore. I like Zamonth. That sounds like a vampire name. What if we do Zamonth Immortal Worshipper... Anubis, I do like that idea of immortal military, but we already established with Horus that he is against undeath because he thinks that's unnatural, and Anubis would be disapproved. So what if we say Zamonth, worshipper of Set, went to desecrate, not even worshipper, sorcerer of Set, we'll say. Of Set went to desecrate the high temple of Anubis, because it would kind of be tragic if, in a way that Horus was trying to defend the temple, be to protect death, that in his protection he became the thing he hated. Enemies of your brother come for him to kill him. You stop them from killing him, but in the time you get mortally wounded, Unas, not wanting his brother to die for what he did, takes him to the sorcerer and where he becomes a vampire. We can kind of link those ideas together. So I like that. Let's take that. Let's take that and mix that. But we have to find a mark. So the vampire mark is... Let me read it to you guys so it makes sense. A mark is a visible indication of your vampire's undying state, or any other thing that sets them apart from mortal people. An ever-bleeding wound on their throat, eyes that are blank and white, a trailing specter, a ferocious scar, like... He has burns from his chest all the way to his fingertips. So he always, like, streaks down his chest. Yeah, I like that. Maybe... I think that's a good... We could do burns from an alchemical... Chemical elixir... How do I spell elixir? Elixir of life. Horus has scars that start at the center of his chest, and go to the tips of his fingers, almost resembling that of wings. So, and I feel like we need to make him a little bit more magical. What if... What if the burns shined in the night sky? Or what if, like, it looked like stars, kind of, because I feel like there was a lot of star and, like, a lot of cosmetology and religion, and Egyptian religion, like, maybe that's interesting. Ooh. Maybe he has, okay, hole in his chest with burns. Maybe his heart has been missing. In the night sky, his burns twinkle. Yeah, almost look like a constellation, maybe. Twinkle like the stars above the Nile. Resembling the constellation. Resembling a clear night sky. Okay. So, let's do this. First roll of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Alright, so we subtract the 6d6 from the d10. So we got a 6 on the d6 and a 4 on the d10. So that puts us at 0. So, we go to the first prompt. Oh no. Alright, so the first prompt, like I said, guys, this game is brutal. So the first prompt reads, in your blood hunger, you destroy someone close to you. Kill a mortal character. Take the skill Bloodthirsty. So, who are we killing out of the mortals? We have Unas, Tabari, and Cleopatra. Also, I'm going to add Bloodthirsty to our skills. We have that now as a skill. But like I said, this game is brutal. Rip Unas, I think so. Maybe, yeah, I think that's a good idea. What if after, maybe Unas was my first kill. Maybe we can add that. Yeah, I think Unas, I think, yeah. So I think memory 3, we finish the memory by saying, after days of struggling with what I have become, my rage, all my energy focused to rage. At night, I met with my brother Unas for him to explain, but my blood began... Yeah, exactly. But my blood began to run hot. And the next... This is just like a huge run-on sentence, I know. And the next thing I remember is my brother dismembered. My brother's body dismembered. He saved me to die anyway. Yeah. Wow, this game, these prompts, that's so brutal. So what we created is our brother, who was a military captain, came home from a bloody battle. One of the people who he fought followed him home, tried to kill him. Our character stepped in, got mortally wounded. Our brother took us to a sorcerer who turned us into a vampire. In our rage from undeath, we went and killed him. Yeah, brutal. Oh my god, absolutely brutal. So, this is the game. This is how you play it, and I love it so far. So, let's roll some dice, see what's the next prompt we go to. So, we got a 6 on the d10 and a 5 on the d6, so we move forward 1. This one says, horrified at your nature, you withdrew from society. Where do you hide? How do you feed? Create a stationary resource which shelters you. So, wow, these like, okay, so we can't put it to that same memory. So we could make a new memory, which would be memory number 5. About how we flee. Okay, hear me out. So what if we do brought in for my crimes, Cleopatra comes to me in my cell. Yes. What if go live with a helper? Yeah, so what if someone catches let's say the guard catches us killing our brother. We get sent to a cell. Cleopatra comes there, sees that we are different. She gives us an offer to send us to Rome to live our life in secluded and feed on the Roman people in exchange for the name of the sorcerer who gave us immortality. Thoughts? But you don't know how. Yeah, I'd have to send her to Zamith. So let's do brought in for my crimes against Unas, Cleopatra. Yeah. Cleopatra visits me in my place of holding. I don't know if it was called a cell back then. Place of holding. She offers. Oh, you're totally fine, Hayden. Have a good night. Hey, Cleo definitely doesn't want to be immortal. Her whole thing is she'd rather die than be just. Ooh, I did not know that. Okay, so that might change a little bit. Something. What if? Yeah, thank you for chilling, and have a good night, my dude. And thank you for playing with us and helping along, for sure. Okay, so maybe so Cleo. I think maybe Cleo, because we already wrote it in the story. Maybe Cleopatra secretly was looking for immortality. Maybe she had that face where she doesn't want to, but because we already wrote that. So we'll just say Cleopatra visits me in the place of holding. She offers me, because this is going to be alternative history too. She offers me a safe passage to Rome in exchange for the name of the sorcerer who cursed me. Reluctantly. Well, we have to make it short. So because it has to be like 3 sentences. In Rome, I hunt the enemies of Egypt. I don't know if was Rome the enemy of Egypt at this point. I feel like yeah. And feed on their weak bodies. Let's change it up. Let's get some other music. Is there just like Egyptian music? Let's see. Okay, I guess not. So let's do. No. Ooh, this might be good music. There we go. So we have currently left. We've had to leave Alexandria because we were caught killing our brother, Cleopatra, in exchange for giving sorcerer. In Rome, I hint. Create a stationary resource. What is as I take solace in what could be a resource in a small Roman farmhouse? Do they? Maybe we're on the Roman countryside. like Italy. Maybe we're like by the vineyards. Maybe that's where we are in Rome. Maybe we're like Sicily area. Oh, I mean to do that. Vineyard. Oh yes, I take solace in a small Roman vineyard, a villa. We'll say villa for now. It can become a vineyard later. A villa in the Roman countryside. Tuscany. In Tuscany. Boom. Alright. So, we can now add to our resources. We have a villa in Tuscany. Which, living the dream. So, the next prompt reads, a loved... Did I do that right? Yeah. A loved one discovers your condition and works to help you. Create a resource which represents their assistance. Okay. So the only one that would make sense would be our mother coming after us. So, Tabari. So what we could have is our mother... But what memory do we add that under? Maybe this one. On the eve of my 18th birthday, my mother Tabari gifted me with a set of ceremonial robes. We could do... Maybe our mother, distraught with the loss of both of her sons, searched me out. That's a far place for someone from Egypt to go, especially in like 20 BC. But I guess we have to, because we have to use, and I guarantee Cleopatra's not trying to help us. So we could say, in desperation from possibly losing both her sons, my mother, Tabari, that's true. They did have the path. So, my mother Tabari. Did I spell that right? No, I didn't. Yeah, I mean it makes sense. I mean, also this is a star. We could say it did. My mother Tabari was able to search and find me in isolation. Seeing what I became, she prayed to Anubis for my release. How would she help us? So the prompt is, a loved one discovers that your condition and works to help you. What way do you think maybe she gives us like some ritualistic resource or something? She prayed to Anubis for my release and gifted me. What would she give? Blood. Oh, gifted me a blood. Yeah. Gift me a vial of... Do you think it's her blood? Or blood of something like holy priest elsewhere? Gifted me a vial of holy blood. A vial of we'll say ritualistic, of blood blessed by the Nile. Or maybe not. Maybe gifted me a vial of water taken from the Nile. Yeah, this game rules. 6, so 2. We finally get to go 2 forward. So we were at 3. We're at 5 now. Oh my god, guys, are you serious? Oh. So, Number 5 reads, you murder someone you love or respect rather than let them expose you. Kill a character, check a skill. If you have no living characters, kill no one and create a beloved mortal character who you have betrayed. We have to kill our mother. Yeah, this game rules. 6, so 2, we finally get to go 2 forward. So we were at 3, we're at 5 now. Oh my god, guys, are you serious? Oh. So, number 5 reads, you murder someone you love or respect rather than let them expose you. Kill a character, check a skill. If you have no living characters, kill no one and create a beloved mortal character who you have betrayed. We have to kill our mother. This fucking sucks. Oh my god. Okay. So, what are my... We'll check the skill Bloodthirsty, I guess. So, we'll see, she began to return. She returned to Alexandria. As she began... Oh, that's not the fun I want. As Tabari began to leave... the rage that had built up, that had been slowly building in my veins, released. I could not let her return to Alexandria. I could not let her return to Alexandria and reveal what I had become. I was once a respected high priest. Now I am the thing I hated. Just like my brother Unas, I awoke from my rage to find another one of my loved ones dismembered by my hands. Holy shit. Oh my god. Our character is not having a good time. Alright. Time to roll the dice. Is that a 9? Oh, that's a 10. You develop a system for feeding. What is it? What happens to those who die? Create a skill that reflects this. Oh. In Tuscany, many of the people I used my robes to walk among the sickest of society. I acted as if I was there to help them, but instead I was there to feed. Nobody missed these people or asked questions. And those who did ask questions were met with my silver tongue. So we can add the skill like lying, silver tongue. Those who died I buried in the villa in the land surrounding my villa. Damn. I wrote that, but damn. That's fucked up. 5 minus 8. No, 8 minus 5. That's how you do math. It's 3. So we go from 9 to 12. Ooh, okay. New laws or social mores make it harder for you to hide among the populace. How are you nearly caught and destroyed? Check a skill, create a mortal criminal who assists you. Times change and so do a people's religion. The people of Rome now worship some new beings that they call Christ. They act like they are holier people now, but I see through its cracks. It has made feeding from the weak harder, though. We'll say made from the weak. It has made feeding from the weak a challenge. Just last week, I was almost caught feeding in the lower districts by Roman centurions, but with my silver tongue and the assistance of a con man named Felix, I was able to escape. So we have to add a mortal. So we have a new character because the other characters we had who are mortals are all dead from either time or I killed 2 of them because of prompts. So we'll do Felix mortal. We'll say a Roman grave digger and con man. I met him in the lower districts as he was stealing bodies to sell. Why would he was okay, maybe as he was looting bodies for their goods. Maybe that's how we met Felix. Maybe Felix is a thief and a robber who would steal the possessions of those who died, and he didn't really care that I was killing them because he could steal their possessions because Horace doesn't care for possessions. I think that's a good connections. We'll say gravedigger, con man, and thief. This game is brutal. Okay. So, let's move on and roll the dice. 5 minus 3. So we subtract that, we have to go back to. So we're at 12, we go to 10. Holy shit. So this one reads, the stars pinwheel above you in the night. The seasons are a blur. You are as an automaton, unconscious of the passage of decades. A century passes. Strike out a memory? Strike out all mortal characters. Well, Felix, you helped us for that one time, but you're dead now. Oh my god, I have to get rid of a memory. Oh no, don't do this to me, game. So, we have to make a choice of what memories we have to lose. So, the memories we have. Yeah, so Felix, you helped me for one time. We were friends, but I lost track of time and a century is later. So, what you gonna do? Sometimes you just lose centuries. I know, this game is so crazy. It was like, oh, hey, this is Felix. Oh, wait, it's about 100 years. Felix is no more. But I guess that's the point of this game, is you're a vampire. Time acts weird for you. He did come. I was excited to see where Felix was gonna go, but he's dead now. So, got a memory? Strike out all mortal characters. Well, Felix, you helped us for that one time, but you're dead now. Oh my god, I have to get rid of a memory. Oh no, don't do this to me, game. So, we have to make a choice of what memories we have to lose. So, the memories we have. Yeah, so Felix, you helped me for one time. We were friends, but I lost track of time and a century is later. So, what you gonna do? Sometimes you just lose centuries. I know, this game is so crazy. It was like, oh, hey, This is Felix. Oh, wait. It's been 100 years. Felix is no more. But I guess that's the point of this game, is you're a vampire. Time acts weird for you. He did come. I was excited to see where Felix was gonna go, but he's dead now. So, strike out a memory. So we have to figure out what memory we want to lose here. So the memories we have is I am Horus, High Priest of Cleopatra. I was born in 50 BC in the ports of Alexandria. I was raised in the temples, and I was destined to always be a priest of Anubis, protector of the undead. And then the second memory is of us getting the robes, feeding on the poor, and then making friends with Felix, who saved us. The second one was killing our brother and becoming undead. Yeah, I did too. But I guess like that's the sinister, dark part of this game, is like characters could be interesting, but they're dead. You know what? I think we get rid of the first memory. I think we strike out I am Horus, High Priest of Cleopatra, because I've been in Tuscany for like 500 years. I might forget where I came from almost. Like I forgot my heritage almost. Forgot what it meant to be Egyptian. Maybe I forget my name. Because I probably wouldn't have used Horus for a while, because I'm Roman in Rome right now, and I don't think Horus, I feel like Horus would stuck out. Yeah, so damn, we now have been in Tuscany and Rome for so long that we don't remember who we were, what our name was, where we were born, and how we were raised. That is so brutal. Alright, let's roll these dice. Alright, we got -2. So we go to 8. This prompt reads, you are recognized for what you are by another creature like yourself. Create an immortal character, lose a resource, and gain a skill. What did you lose to them? Oh. What if it was the ghost of Felix? We could make the ghost of Felix come back. Late one night. Late one night. A haunting scream came from underneath the villa. We also have to lose a resource here, but gain a skill. Ooh, maybe we learn how to talk to the dead. But we lose something. Okay, this is what it is. What if Felix comes back as a shade to haunt the villa, and all those who I've killed also come back, and the villa becomes haunted for some reason? So I have to lose the villa because I have to lose a resource. So maybe I killed Felix. Holy shit. Now that I think about it, we don't know how Felix died. Maybe I killed Felix and he came back for vengeance. We'll say over a time, over what seemed, over many seasons, I began to notice things going amiss. For witnessing you feeding. Yes, we killed Felix because he was helping us, but he did witness us feed, and maybe he got a little jumpy. So we killed him, even though he helped us get away from the Centurions. And then 100 years later, he came back, really pissed. Like almost like a banshee. Notice things going amiss around the villa. And shrieks coming from the walls. It was during a full moon in which I witnessed the specter of a friend I once killed. Of a friend I once... A friend I betrayed long ago. Maybe I killed him 100 years ago, and that's why time skipped so much, because I was in a daze, because I killed Felix, in which I witnessed the specter of a friend I betrayed rise from the mass graves of my victims. Along with him, the shades of all I've killed. I knew I could no longer stay in the villa, for these were vengeful spirits. But that was the day I learned to communicate with the dead. So that works. That does the prompt. So we lose the villa. We bring Felix back as a vengeful spirit, so we can make Felix an immortal. Let's now say he's a vengeful spirit at the villa. We can add the skill Speak with the Dead. And we can no longer go back to the villa because the villa's haunted. RIP. Alright, let's roll some dice, see what the next prompt is. 10 minus 4, so 6. So we are at 7, so we go to 13. This is a weird one. This says, generations of the same family serve you. This line starts from any living mortal character, which I think they're all dead at this point. Yeah. Or from the descendants of a dead mortal character. What bizarre rituals do they what bizarre rituals do they tie to their servitude? Lose a resource and create a survivors of the lineage resource. So, Egypt, after the villa's gone, and we find our family's heritage, and we begin raising them and kind of giving them, but they have to worship us almost as a god. No longer with my villa, I return to a place I faintly remember. Yeah, pretty much, because that was the only option we have. It's awful. It's the worst. But yeah, we do go and slave our family back in Egypt. I return to a place I faintly remember and search out my own blood. My family has become weak. My family lines have become weak since I've left. And I can help them become notable members of the Egyptian hierarchy, because we are a high priestess, so we are pretty high up there. In return, I gave them my ceremonial scythe to cut down my prey as they as they now keep me hidden And help me hunt my prey. That works. That's fucked up, but that works, I guess. No longer with my villa, I return to a place I faintly remember and search out my own blood. My family lines have become weak since I've left, and I can help them become notable members of the Egyptian hierarchy once again. I'm gonna add once again. In return, I gave them my ceremonial scythe to cut down my prey. As they now keep me hidden in this underneath the temple of Anubis in Alexandria, as they ritualistically help me hunt my prey. Yeah. Ritualistically help me hunt my prey. So we're pretty much a cult now. So Horus wasn't in Alexandria, became a vampire, killed his brother, went to Rome, Tuscany to be precise, got a villa. His mother came to try to fix him. In a blood rage, we killed her. We chilled there. We feasted on the weak and the poor, and eventually times changed, and we almost got caught by the Roman guards. But our boy Felix helped us out, but unfortunately Felix got a little too close to us, so we killed him. Another 100 years went by after that, in which the spirits of all those killed that I hid underneath the villa rose up and started to haunt me in the villa. So seeing that I could no longer stay there, we decided to head back to Alexandria, a place I could faintly remember because I don't have that memory anymore, and where we found our family weaker than we left. So with their help and living underneath the temple of Anubis, I gave them a scythe to help hunt down their enemies and to ritualistically feed me their prey. That's fucked up. I understand why this game has the mature content rating, because this game can get pretty dark. Pretty damn dark. 2. We have to go 2 forward. So we were at 13, so we go to 15. Oh. We get to run to another immortal. So this says, while traveling, you come into conflict with another immortal. Gain a mark. Oh shit, we have to become a little bit more fucked up. What trick do you play upon them? What trick did you play upon them? Who are they? And create a new immortal creature. Night in Alexandria. As I walked the streets searching for my enemies, my amulet began to glow a faint green. We'll say faint green, yeah. Green. As if it was guiding me. I followed it out into the desert, in which I ran into a mighty sphinx named... What would I name it again? Hela. Like a sphinx. Hela asked me a riddle. Hela presented me with a riddle. How do I trick the Sphinx, though? That's the crow. How does well, I guess not Horus. How does Lucius trick the Sphinx? What would... Oh, maybe Hela's asking for the amulet, but... Okay, this idea. Maybe Hela was calling out to the amulet, which made the green glow green faint, so making our character go into the desert. But once there, Lucius, I tried. Hela was in search for her amulet. My amulet. In which I denied I had gotten sloppy since Tuscany, and she saw through my lies. It was there she cursed my she cursed my ability of sight. I now see the darkness. No, I now permanently live in darkness. I think that works. Okay, so our mark is going to say our eyes are now... Ooh, what if our eyes like always look like they're a sandstorm because it's a sphinx cursing us, but we're blind? Our eyes now resemble that. Or maybe, ooh, if we want to get more brutal, our eyes were stolen by a sphinx. By the sphinx known as Hela. Now where they once sat, now sits. Now, okay. In the empty sockets. Resides a storm of sand that pours out every time I open my eyes. That's kind of brutal. Like, your eyes were replaced, so like you have to keep them closed, and if you ever open them, they just like start weeping sand out, as if I was weeping sand every time I open my eyes. Talking about dry eyes too. Okay, so this is an interesting one. We're going to do another time skip, because this say there's a great shift in the way society moves goods. How does this work to your advantage? Check a skill. Create a skill based on the memory. What? Do we do boats? I need to look up advancements in transportation. Transportation throughout history, I guess. Or we could do trains. Wow, that'd be a big jump, though. That'd be going from like 700 AD all the way to 1820s. Let's see. Trains, maybe. I think we do trains. I mean, it's a big jump, but I can't think of any other way transportation. So that's a good way to end tonight too. So we have to check a skill. So we have to figure out what skills. Ooh, what if we check alchemy? So we can't use alchemy anymore, but what if we use alchemy? We find a way to create infinite fuel or something, like renewable energy through maybe magic and alchemy, and we sell it to a train yard or like a train company, and we become a train baron? It could make like moving. It could also make our family, because we still have our family. as a servitor. Maybe that's like how we make our family like super rich in 1820. It's something, but I think we try it. Because I can't really think of anything else right now. And that is a big jump, so we go to 1820. We have to add something. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, we can add it to memory 1. Throughout the ages, well, I didn't. I can't watch because I experienced my family grow with the help of my undeath. One of my descendants during a ritual told me of. We've become like this mummy vampire lord who lives near Alexandria at this point. Told me of metal. Hey, I returned. We are actually about to end soon, but we are writing the final prompt, which is us as a vampire leaving, like going 1,000 years in the future to 1820 where trains are invented. I'm trying to figure out how would someone from 50 BC talk about trains? I think like metal. Okay, one of my descendants during a ritual told me of metal carts propelled by fire. By fire. By rocks in the ground, by flaming rocks. I feel like that might be a way to describe trains if you're from like the ancient era. Metal boxes, metal houses, maybe metal houses, metal carts, metal chariots. Let's do metal chariots propelled by flaming rocks. Seeing an opportunity to help my family grow, I taught them the secrets of never-ending fires, a secret that only the gods knew. With this magic, they were able to grow in power and now run the most successful transportation guild in all of Africa. In all of northern Africa, I will say. We'll say all of Egypt. We'll start with all of Egypt. So, okay, so this is a crazy story that we've made. What else we do? Yeah, we have to create a skill based on a memory. So maybe we lost our vision to a sphinx. We use bloodlust, maybe. I don't think we can get a skill from that. Maybe Felix, before we killed him, because he found out we could feed, taught us sleight of hand. I don't know when that's going to come in handy, but I think that's sleight of hand. Okay, boom, sleight of hand. All right, so that is 1,000-year-old vampire, and next week we will be coming back earlier, hopefully, because this is pretty late. I mean, it's not late for me, but I know it's a lot late for a lot of people. And we will continue the story and maybe even end it. So, a recap on who our character was, or is. He was an Egyptian high priest of Anubis named Horus, who was an advisor to Cleopatra herself. Eventually, one night, after an enemy of his brother followed his brother home, he intervened with the enemy trying to kill his brother and took the blade, mortally wounded. His brother took him to a sorcerer of Set, who gave his brother immortality. So he gave our character immortality by turning him into a vampire. Us being enraged that we returned to undead because we worshipped the Anubis, the protector of the dead, we murdered our brother, and with the help of Cleopatra, we moved to Rome, Tuscany to be precise, in which we had a villa. In Rome, we fed on the weak and the poor, and as things changed, as Christianity came apart, guards became a little bit more prevalent, and we eventually almost got caught by some Roman centurions, but a grave robber and thief named Felix and our silver tongue was able to talk our way out of getting imprisoned and killed. So with that, we returned to our villa, but the years began to pass quickly, and 100 years had passed, and that is when the specter of Felix, who we had killed earlier, began to rise, along with all those we killed from the mass graves we had around the villa, and they began haunting the villa. Seeing that these were vengeful spirits, we decided to make our way back to Alexandria. Even though at this point we had forgotten what it was like in Alexandria, we had forgotten our childhood because we were gone so long, and it had been hundreds of years. So we returned to Alexandria and sought out our bloodline, in which they were not doing great. So in exchange for them ritually hunting down our prey with a scythe we were given, we were able to bring them into power, but they had to help us feed by hunting those in Alexandria. In our time in Alexandria, one of the amulets that Cleopatra gave us began to glow a green, which we followed deep into the desert, in which we met a sphinx named Hela. We tried to lie, saying we did not have the amulet, but the sphinx saw through our lies and cursed us with blindness, and cursed us with every time we open our eyes, we weep sand, which is awful. We eventually made it back to Alexandria. We kept up the ritualistic killing and kept expanding the family until 1,000 years go by, which is nothing to a vampire, I guess, in which trains are invented, and we, with the power of alchemicals and the power of the forgotten knowledge of the gods, we create a renewable source of fuel that helps us run the train business. And yeah, that's all like from prompts. That's like all of us answering questions in the game. This game is super cool. I'm glad everyone who came out and checked it out and talked and helped. But yeah, everyone who's here, still thank you. Everyone who participated tonight, thank you. We will definitely be back next Thursday, and we will be doing this again for sure. We will tie up the story of Horace, who's actually not named Horace anymore. He's Lucius because he forgot that his name was Horace, which is not great. But yeah, so again, everyone who's here, everyone who was here, and yeah, I hope everyone has a good rest of the night. And hopefully this story of tragedy didn't affect you, because I'm going to be thinking about this for the week. Yeah, let's make sure I spelled that right. And yeah, bye everyone.